Listen, we have Lucy Greer in the kitchen and it's starting to smell good. Okay, what are y'all cooking over there?
Hey, Vanessa. Yeah, Lucy is making wild rice today. Lucy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So I'm really excited about this wild rice because you have a lot of different ingredients on our table.
So I'm still giggling. Earlier this week,
Yeah.
I sent my sister this recipe and she was like, that is some wild rice.
Literally wild.
Literally wild rice. And I'm like still laughing about it. So yes, so I thought that this would be a good one. Easter's coming up.
Yep.
And for the holidays, you know, I feel like there's always like normal things that you have every year, but sometimes it's fun to like shift it up a little bit and introduce a different side dish. And this would be really great to go along with the ham. So I'm taking a shortcut with this, you know, the Uncle Ben's wild rice,
Yep.
and we're about to cook some mushrooms down. So it's kind of like a sweet and savory. So I have some Brussels sprouts here, and then we're gonna do like blueberries and dried cranberries. So it's really pretty when it comes together. And then we're gonna do a coconut and almond topping. So it is definitely wild, but it hits a lot of just different textures and flavors that I think that people are really gonna like.
Is this a family recipe or is this just something you thought, let's add this in there, let's add this?
Yeah, just like, oh, this could work. Okay. I love this rice.
Right.
Just like real quick, whatever. And I use it sometimes and I add shrimp to it, just like a quick wild rice and shrimp. So I was like, it really would be good as a side dish just with some extra flavors. So this was just 8 ounces of fresh mushrooms that I just chopped kind of small. And I had 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here, and we have it on high heat. And we've talked about before when we cook mushrooms, I don't like to add any salt at the beginning because it's going to draw out that moisture, and we really want to get color on them. So high heat on those mushrooms is fine. And those are going to cook for about 5 minutes. And then what I'm doing over here is I just got 1 bag of Brussels sprouts.
Yep.
And so I'm just slicing those thin like this.
So the rice to added, whether it's fruit or veggie ratio is kind of, it seems like it'll be half and half.
Yeah,
right?
it really is. And so it's just, you know, it gets a lot of, it's kind of like things that you wouldn't really put together typically. Or, you know, it's a lot of people, you know, the Brussels sprout craze kind of came and still here. And people usually just roast those and, you know, do a glaze, which is great. But it's kind of a new way to use them. And they're, you know, so good for you. So once we get these going, I'm going to, next we'll add in, we're just going to cook that for about a minute in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll add in the rice and some chicken broth and let it cook before we add in our other toppings.
Oh, this sounds so good. Now for folks who are already thinking about that Easter lunch or dinner, what do you guys have to offer meat-wise for the main attraction of the table?
We'll of course have ham,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, you know, do that, but a lot of people also do like standing rib roast, so we have those. We still have, you know, butchers in all of our markets that can prepare those things. So if you do want to place a special order for something, just let one of them know and we'll be happy to have it ready for you. And then, you know, the bakeries will have coconut cakes if you don't want to make something. And then the grocery department will have always those things on sale, butter and flour and sugar and all those great prices for those that still actually bake things versus buy them. But either way,
we're not calling
you covered.
anyone out. We are not calling anyone out. So Greer's has everything you need for Easter Sunday coming up. If you do plan to eat with your friends and family, when we come back with Vanessa, what are we doing next?
Okay, we're going to add in the Brussels sprouts with her and then get the rice cooking, and then later on we'll add everything else.
Awesome. We'll continue this recipe right here on Studio 10. Vanessa.
Welcome back. We're in the kitchen with Lucy Greer. Okay, what are we doing next? We already had the mushrooms cooking,
yes,
right?
we're making our wild rice. So we started with a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We put in 8 ounces of chopped mushrooms that we just you know, chopped up. And then this is 1 bag of Brussels sprouts, and we thinly sliced those. And so I'm just going to mix those around with the mushrooms just for, you know, 30 seconds or a minute, just to get them mixed in there with a little bit of that olive oil that's left.
Ooh,
and we are taking a shortcut with our wild rice. I'm using these Uncle Ben's boxes, and they come with the seasoning packs, and I like to flavor these up any kind of way. So I'm going to add 2 boxes of this. And also it comes again with the seasoning packet. So I'll put those in there. And then I have just a little bit of extra salt and pepper that I'm gonna add. And then instead of using water, I'm gonna use chicken broth. So this is 3.5 cups of chicken broth.
Ooh, okay, so Brussels sprouts typically have that intense taste. Do you feel like with this wild rice, it cancels out that intense taste that Brussels sprouts have?
Yeah, that is such a good point, and it absolutely does. So, I like slicing them up like that.
Okay.
Really helps too. And then cooking them in that chicken broth, yeah, it does kind of take down that strong flavor. It's funny, you know, there's kind of little baby cabbages. My husband doesn't like cabbage, but he does like Brussels sprouts. But I'm trying to win him around to cabbage too, because I like them both. So we're just going to bring this up to just a gentle boil, and then we're going to put it on low and cover it, and it's going to cook for about 20 minutes. Just watch it until most of that liquid is absorbed, and then we're going to add some of our other stuff.
Okay.
But Chelsea was kind of excited about our topping here.
Listen, I'm just going to eat this by myself.
And I like almonds. And you know, it's funny. So our topping is, we're using sliced almonds. So it's half a cup, just one of these little packets. And then I used half a cup of unsweetened coconut.
Okay.
So I feel like, you know, some people are big on coconut, some people aren't big on coconut. But it really, I love the texture that this has to go on top. So if you aren't a coconut fan, just toast the almonds and that'll be great on top too. So to toast something, I just started out with a dry skillet. There's no oil or anything in here, so I'll just toss this around. And we're just gonna put it on just a medium to low heat. And it's gonna take about 5 minutes. And then
toasty?
Yes, just get it toasty. And so we'll stir it kind of constantly. I'll get a spoon and we'll keep that stirred, and just don't walk away from it because it'll burn easily, but it'll that coconut will turn nice and toasty, and it'll be great to go on top of our rice.
Oh, well, listen, it's starting to smell really good right now. I'll just keep shaking this.
Okay, great.
For the meantime, we'll have some more on this recipe. Oh, let me keep it on here.
Yeah.
But Chelsea,
That's good.
I'll toss things over to you.
Welcome back. We are live in the kitchen with Lucy, finishing up this wild rice. What are we doing?
All right, so I just pulled off the heat our topping. We toasted half a cup of unsweetened coconut flakes and half a cup of sliced almonds, and I can smell it, so I know that they're done. You smell that? It smells so good, and they're it's lightly brown. And so in this pot is our wild rice, which most of the liquid has absorbed. We started with some fresh mushrooms, and then we added in some Brussels sprouts, and then the Uncle Ben's wild rice boxes with the seasoning. And now I'm going to add in our sweet part. So this is kind of sweet and savory. So I have a cup of blueberries. I have a half a cup of dried cranberries, and the leftover liquid will help those cranberries kind of plump up a little bit. So I'm gonna mix that in first so it has a chance. And then I have 1 can of mandarin oranges that I just drained. And then a couple green onions that I sliced up. So I'll get this and then I'll plate it up so everybody can see how pretty it is.
Yeah, the colors are really nice. Do the blueberries, once they stay in there for a little bit, do they stay plump and whole like that? Is that what you want?
They do, yeah. So at this point, we are off the heat. So we just kind of gently stir that in, and they are gonna stay nice and plump. And it's a lot of pretty color.
It is really nice.
And then we're just gonna put that topping right over it.
Beautiful.
So it's just kind of something pretty, and it'll be really pretty like with a pork tenderloin or like ham like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So it'd be great for a dinner party because, you know, it makes a lot, and just something kind of unique that you could share with people. And Chelsea likes rice, so she says she does.
This is delicious.
Oh yay, I'm glad you like it.
What I love about this, I love watching cooking shows, and texture is really big with all of them, and this hits all of the texture boxes.
Yes.
And flavors.
Yay, I'm glad you like it.
This is
fun.
So fun, colorful. Your family will love it for Easter if you are making a big Easter meal. For folks to learn more about Greer's, Lucy, where can we go?
You can go to our website, greers.com, or of course follow us on social where we post all of our ads, or we could you could order groceries from us.
Yes, we would love for you to do that. Lucy will be back with us next week. We'll see you then, Lucy.
Thanks.